Hey, hey, hey. So, why am I doing this Facebook Live? Heck, doggone, I haven't done a Facebook Live in so long, and it's kind of scary to do it. Now I understand why people are like, "Oh, I don't want to do it live," because it's a, it's a little scary. Um, and the reason why I'm doing this is one, I just want to practice. I want to improve on myself and what I do because I talk to a lot of people and it's like, hey, on social media, you should go live. You shouldn't worry about what other people think. Just be you. Just do what you do and worry about yourself. And oftentimes, I think if we don't practice it ourselves, we forget what it feels like to initially go live or to shoot a video. So that was one reason why I wanted to come live. And so if you're watching this, I appreciate it. And if you do me a favor in the comments when you see this, if you're watching it live or you're watching it on a replay, just go ahead and tell me watching live or a replay. I really appreciate it. But what really motivated me and sparked me into doing this live was, heck, I don't even know. Yeah, my microphone's on. Doing this live was a post that I made just a few minutes ago about managing your fear. And if you don't manage your fear, it's going to cap the level of success that you're going to have. And that's the level of success that you're going to have in life, in your marriage, in your friendships, in your professional life, in your business. If you don't manage that fear, it's just going to conquer you. And we all deal with fear. I don't care how confident somebody looks. A friend of mine, Ray Higdon, give him a shout out on here. He does like a live every day, right? But I can almost promise you, when he first started, there was some anxiety, there was some fear there, and he had to kind of grab hold of that to move forward, to propel himself forward. Grant Cardone, all these people that we look at if they're doing a live or doing a video, and we might view them as extremely successful. There's still fear there, so there's hope for all of us. And so I started. Annie, go away. It's a little blue healer. Annie, go. Um, Are you serious? I don't need any lovin's right now. So I started doing some research. Is like, well, what kind of value can I bring to other people to help them move past their fear point, if you will? And I was thinking back in my experiences dealing with fear and what did I do to overcome some of it? And one of it, and I'll put an article in the comments when I'm finished with this that you can read yourself. And it was done by Inc.com. And the first thing that they recommend in this article is don't figure things out yourself or by yourself. And if you think about that, we all perform better when we're part of a team, when we know that there's somebody that we can kind of lean on, that they can support us and we can support them. And oftentimes, I feel, and I could be way off, but oftentimes I feel that if if we're leaning on somebody, they're actually leaning on us, and it helps us become more confident because we need to be there for them because it's something greater than ourselves rather than, hey, I'm doing it because they're here to support me. But I think in reality it's because we're there to support them, and that just gives us that extra little boost, if you will. um, Let me, I'm on my change web browsers here. um, The other thing is we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be real on how we feel. Like, just be self-aware and say, yeah, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I have anxiety, I'm fearful of what the person on the other side of this camera is going to think. How are they going to judge me? And the other thing that when that comes in is as we go through life, and so many times I've been like this for so long too, is I always worry about what other people think, what other people feel, um, or what they might think of me or what their impression is. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what I think, how I feel about me, what my wife, what my kids, what my grandkids think, right? And even then, it really isn't it really doesn't matter what they think of me. It's because I am me, and I need to stay true to that. And I need to understand how I feel about different things instead of masking it, instead of denying it. Just look at myself in the mirror, in the camera, and say, "Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of scared," um, and be okay with that. And once you acknowledge that and see that, now you can take the steps to overcome it. The next thing, this is the third thing that Inc.com suggests, is be okay with some things being out of your control. Now, this is a big one, right? People that are perfectionists, people that have this amazing image of their life on social media. It could be on Instagram, Tickety Talk, Snappity Chat, whatever. They're so worried that, well, I'm not in control of this, I'm not in control of that, I can't control the narrative of this and this and that, so I'm not going to do it. Well, in life, you don't have control of a whole lot other than yourself, how you react to things, how you um, adapt to things. I think most of us need to be more like water and just kind of go with it, and be okay knowing that we can't control everything. Um, my wife is, bless her heart, I love her to death, but like in the car, I'm driving, and she can't stand it when somebody else drives because she's not in control, right? But yet we haven't been in an accident. We've been married 26 years, haven't been in an accident, haven't anything. And she's like, all right, guys out there, have you ever heard your wife gasp because you're passing somebody, or you kind of hit the brakes a little bit more aggressive than maybe what they would like, and they're like, they're not even looking at the freaking road, and they're like, and it just annoys you. I hope you're on here and I'm not the only one, because I get so irritated and frustrated with that. Man, it makes me mad. But she has to understand that it's okay. Let go. You're not in control of everything. So anyway, the other thing, practice self care. This is step 4 that they recommend. Self care. Um, Doing things that you enjoy. It could be exercising, it could be reading books, it could be personal development stuff. Taking care of your body and your mind is really important. So that way, again, I think this all goes back to how you feel about yourself. Now, if you're not taking self care, maybe let's say you're eating all kinds of garbage, which I'm guilty of, but you're eating all kinds of garbage, you're not exercising, and you just feel like a bump on the log. Now you're going to be projecting on other people the way that you feel about yourself. So now you're thinking they think that about yourself. So by taking care of yourself, taking that time out of your day to work on you will help raise your confidence, and you'll start seeing that it doesn't matter what other people think because you feel better about you. Um, Number 5, be conscious of your intentions. Okay. And I'll read this throughout the day. This is what it says. Throughout the day, check in with yourself. When you sense that control may be slipping away, pause, take a breath, revisit your intentions, take notice of how the quality of your life work shifts every hour, and you become more conscious of your intentions. And I think being conscious of your intentions, like what is your goal, what is your outcome, what are your true intentions, I think it's really important. But sometimes we disguise what our intentions are. For instance, we're in I'm in network marketing, MLM, direct sales, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of times when we talk to people, and this is what I've seen, is like we want to sneak in on the back end. We're like, hey, we're talking all nice, we're being all good, but our true intention comes in at the end, rather than, or as a matter of fact, most of the times we don't know what our intentions are. There isn't a clear intention. It's like, well, I think I kind of want to go this way, and I want to go that way. Just be conscious of what you want to achieve, and be straightforward with it. More importantly, I think it's crucial, it's critical, um, for your own mental health and mindset, is just to know what your intention is and be out front with it. And then that way you don't feel like you're hiding anything. So that's my thought. Focus on positive thoughts. So many times, if we're doing something that makes us nervous or we're fearful of, and most times I think people think of fear as, man, I don't want to go bungee jumping. I'm looking over that edge, and man, it's high. What if these rubber bands break? I think that's what they think of fear, rather than fear of failure or being judged by others. I think that's probably our biggest fear, in the dominating fear that we have throughout life. Because very rarely do people face a real, like a physical threat where it causes this instinctual fear of fight or flight. But I think it's more of what people think of us, right? I could be wrong. If you disagree, put it in the comments. But is we just need to think more positive thoughts all the time. We need to think more love, more kindness, more gratitude. So as you're going through this fearful period or stage, or 5 minutes of your day, just have some gratitude for all the great things in your life, the gratitude that you're there to go through it, because so many others aren't. So constantly feed yourself positive thoughts throughout the day, even if it's not a fearful situation for you. Practice mindfulness. I think we kind of touched on this earlier. That's number 7. Mindful, and this is what it says: mindfulness is one of the best kept secrets to help busy people deal with anxiety. You can practice it by intentionally putting your focus on your emotions and accepting in a non-judgmental way whatever thoughts and sensations you are experiencing in the moment. Be self-aware. That's what it's saying. It's like, oh man, I'm getting butterflies in my stomach. My heart rate's rising. My pulse is rising. What's going on, right? Be conscious of that. And that way you can control it before it gets out of control. And we can train that by practicing it day in and day out. Instead of letting that self-doubt, that fear, that judgment of others kind of get into our minds and cloud everything, to cloud our intention, to cloud our mindfulness. And next thing you know, we don't even realize it. We're just blah, 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 right? Next thing, number 8, train your brain to stop the fear response. This is probably the toughest thing to do. Here in the article, it says President Roosevelt famously said, "The one thing we have to fear is fear itself." Now, there's that old saying, is fear is just false evidence appearing as real. And I say that's the biggest bullshit there is. Me personally, I don't agree with fear as false evidence appearing as real, because when you're in that fearful situation, it's real to you. It's real to me. I feel it. My palms are sweating. Your heart rate rises. You can't think clearly. You're fearful. It is freaking real. It's not false. However, what is false is everything that comes rushing into our mind, that what other people might think of us. We don't know what they're thinking. How is that even possible? It isn't. So I think that's where that false evidence, we're telling ourselves a story that other people are thinking about us or other people are judging us in a certain way, and that increases the level of fear, right? Um, but it's, I think fear is definitely real. It's not false evidence. But by training our brain to kind of stop, slow down, realize what's going on, then we're able to kind of step back because we're more self aware. We can feed ourselves more positive thoughts. We can become clear with our intentions. And now we have that confidence to move forward in whatever it is. Now, that's not to say that that's going to cure all your fears, because it's not, right? It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of practice. If there's something that's physical, right? I relate to some silly stuff like, let's say if you're getting shot at, you could be fearful of that. You're going to be. There's a fight or flight response, and but even during those times, and I speak from experience, when you're being shot at, you still have to be mindful of where you are, of your presence, of you. You have to control your thoughts, slow down, think through things, so that way you can move forward. Uh, and I think that's true in all aspects of life. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about that, because I think so many of us deal with fear that disguises itself in so many different areas in our day-to-day life, um, especially if you're building a business, or maybe you're going through some challenging times in your family. I think we've all been there, and we always think the worst. And in most cases, we are our own worst enemy when it comes to controlling our fear, controlling the way that we act or interact with others, because we're not mindful. We're our intent is kind of skewed because we're not all there. Does that? I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. Got to get my coffee in. But yeah, so that's it for today's live. I just kind of wanted to practice it. Want to get out of my comfort zone, because I'm used to making videos that are recorded and then I post them. Right? That's not scary. What's scary is seeing people. Sorry, my screen's over here. Seeing people on there, it's like, man, I want to get a heart. I want to get a thumbs. No one cares about that. If you're worried about doing a live, you're worried about what people think about you or what you're presenting. Take like a 3M sticky note and put it over that area that shows the likes and the hearts and whatnot. Don't worry about the comments, and just practice on being present and giving out the best information, the best content, whatever that might be. And then as you become more confident, more self-aware, more clear with your intention, then you can take that sticky note out. As a matter of fact, I probably should have started this live with a question. I'm always told when you do a live, start with a question. Boy, I did that wrong. Well, no, I did, right? I think I said, "How are you guys?" I don't know, but yeah. Let me see. Oh, that's a preview. Man, I'm just clicking buttons. I'm using this program, this software, on here, so I'm not actually on Facebook, and so I'm just clicking stuff, so I can't see everything. I need to really learn this. Anyway, hey, I'm going to put the article down in the comments. Check it out. See if it helps you. See if it makes sense. If this kind of resonated with you, leave a comment. Put in the comments, what do you do to overcome fear? Has fear ever, and don't be so prideful to say, no, fear never affected me and how I do things. You're full of crap, right? Put down in there, yeah, I found that this helped me, because this platform, social media, can be used for good. I think we see so many negative things. We see a lot of people living a life that maybe they're not really living. It's like living their life through a filter. It's all fake. Be real. So in the comments, put, what did you do to overcome or to minimize your fear to overcome, to become, to overcome something so that way you can excel in whatever it was. What worked for you? Was it working out? Was it partnering up with someone? Was it creating a community of like-minded people that were there to support you, and more importantly for you to support them? What was it? I'd love to hear. I'd love to share your whatever your experiences are with other people. That way it could provide them some help and some ideas. But anyway, thanks. You guys have an awesome day.